innocence of creation, beauty and light of love. Accepting in this moment the innocence within, the beauty, the truth of love that is always present and always all that there is. Accepting the power within is in the accepting. In this moment, the willingness of the heart to say yes. And again, focusing on the yes being the power of love, connecting to all power, the only power, the power of love. And in this moment, the willingness to surrender this day, everything that you perceived about this day, every thought, every seeming experience, surrendering this day into the hands of love, to the hands of God. Everything that you may have thought you knew about this day, what it all meant, surrendering it all. And allowing this day to be the schoolroom of love. The opportunity within the devotion to remember love. Surrendering every thought, every opinion that may have come into this day, into love. And as you surrender this day, the willingness to offer the future into the hands of God. To surrender the future as an unfolding of harmony and peace. Surrendering the future into the hands of God and firmly placing one foot in front of the other in the yes of trust and allowing. Breathing. Breathing into this moment. And within this moment again, coming back into the yes. To invite all of humanity into your awareness of love. Surrendering into love again all the beliefs of differences, degrees and levels, belief of time, belief that there is anything to get, anything to know, anything to figure out, anything to succeed with, but allowing that everything in this moment, beyond the veil, is the divine truth of oneness. Everything is right here, all all harmony, all peace. And breathing into this moment, breathing and accepting. And as you breathe, willing to breathe into every cell, every molecule, inviting every cell and every molecule to remember love, remember harmony and peace. And breathing into the throat, inviting the throat to open fully and deeply, inviting the neck to relax and let go. And breathing deeply and fully, breathing into the shoulders, surrendering the shoulders, arms and hands into the truth of love. Breathing into the spine, surrendering the spine. Allowing the spine to be the liquid of love, moving easily and effortlessly. It's the expression of God. Surrendering all that you know about the body, all the likes and dislikes, all the rights and wrongs, all the beliefs of age, all the beliefs of the body being the doer of any kind. Surrendering. And surrendering the heart, inviting the heart to open in this moment, coming forward, open and available, undefended, not defending any idea of self, not defending the past, not trying to corral and control the future. It's surrendering and allowing the heart to be open and undefended. And in this moment of recognition, of inviting the heart to open, the willingness to release all beliefs that there are any enemies, any problems, any conflicts, all surrendered. And breathing. And breathing into the belly, surrendering all the organs into the hands of God, willing for everything to be used by love. Surrendering the hips and thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet, all surrendered into love. Inviting all the chakras to open, available to express love, to connect in the oneness, the holy union of love right here, right now. Breathing. Now surrendering the emotional body into the hands of God. Surrendering all the thoughts of fear, conflict, needing to protect in any way, battle, surrendering it all. No longer willing to have the mind run the emotional body in the belief of separation and limitation. Breathing into the emotional body, willing for the emotional body to express harmony and love and peace and joy, compassion. And affirming the prayer of the heart, the willingness to be and allow the energy bodies to be the instruments of love, the instrument of healing. Breathing. Breathing deeply and fully in holy union, one breath and one heart. Affirming that here, in this infinite circle of love, we are one. Putting all the attention on the holiness of love, on the light and the joy of love. Bringing all attention, all focus to the truth of God, truth of oneness, and the wholeness of the universe. This sanctuary is filled with love. Nothing else exists. Surrendering all beliefs of needing to pay attention to the body into the hands of God. Letting everything be the vehicle of love. And breathing. There is only one presence here. It is the life force of God. And within this life force we live and move and breathe as one. One heart and one breath in devotion. Devotion to love. Devotion to wholeness. Breathing. Allow this prayer to sing through your own heart. And in that singing, joining in the union of one heart. Focusing on the prayer and letting the little self go. Opening the heart into holy union. I am Mary of Conception. I am seeking to open your heart, offering my love and guidance as your suffering world comes apart. Bring your pain like a flower to open. Bring your sorrow to place at my feet. Tears that are watering my garden in the river of Jordan will meet. Oh, my children, I seek your surrender. Both the path and the message are clear. My Saint John is walking beside you, holding your hand through this fear. Keep your strength as you seek to be humble. Let the power that guides you reveal all the blessings of my holy rapture, confirming you know what is real. The love and guidance of the divine is always present and offered in every moment. You are never walking an alone journey. If you see yourself as alone, you are in a mistaken identity of separation. And every moment is the opportunity of remembering that all divine beings are serving your remembering and are with you. And it is only because the attention is on the world and on having to figure things out that love is forgotten. Opening. Offering love and guidance as your suffering world falls apart. This falling apart is not a disaster. This falling apart is the divine creation untangling and unraveling the beliefs of separation. And the perception of your own world will be that it is falling apart. But this is an interpretation. And to realize and to accept that being dismantled is what you came here to remember. That the dismantling is the beauty and the joy of remembering. Dismantling what never was, opening to the truth of what is eternal, and trusting in that eternal love. Bring your pain like a flower to open, and bring your sorrow to place at my feet. Every divine teacher, every divine guide is saying, please bring that sorrow and place it at the feet of love, letting it be transformed, accepting the bonfire of love is there for you to let burn up all the beliefs of separation, all the beliefs of I know, I think, I get, I win. Surrendering it all into love. Again, allowing this prayer to pierce your heart into recognition, the willingness to be pierced, the willingness to allow love to just lift the veil of seeming separation, trusting the power of love. I am life. I am the path. I am the pure and eternal love. I am the key that opens the door, that returns the memory into the truth of God. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere where there are beloveds gathered in the name of love. I am there. I am the light. I am the torchbearer. I am the truth of love. I am the child, I am the father, I am the spirit of love. I am the truth of eternal life. This prayer is for the opening of your heart to remind you of your true self, that you are this life, you are the light, you are the innocence, you are everything in creation, opening and releasing this belief of a little self into the vastness and expansiveness of all creation. No longer refusing to accept the power of love that is only the truth of everything. Sua vida, sou o caminho, eu sou o puro eterno amor. Sou a chave da porta estreita que vos leva de volta ao Senhor. Estou aqui, eu estou lá, eu estou sempre em todo lugar. Onde estiver irmãos reunidos em meu nome, eu ali estou. Sou a luz, sou o tocheiro, eu sou o mestre ensinador. Sou filho, sou pai, sou Espírito Santo, e sou vosso redentor. Can you accept the wholeness and the power of love? Will you accept the wholeness and power of love? Will you accept that you are not weak but strong in the truth of love? That you are not powerless but all powerful in the truth of love? Everything of truth is already within. It's everything. And it's just the letting go of what's been made out. False identity of separation. Being let go. Just your yes. Everything is in your yes. The power of love joins your yes. As the beloved that was known as Hafiz comes to join what is always here, the willingness to accept love in all forms, to no longer judge anything as separate. Nesting in your palm, what makes the wings return in the spring? I know all about that. And what makes them leave again before the snow weighs down their need for flight? That feeling, too, I am very familiar with. Looking at your own migration from spirit to form and back so many times. What is there to learn before you can retire and cease such an arduous journey? Even the divine Son was here to sweat and fast and to work with his hands and draw from a well and quench the thirst of all myriad beloveds. Until you discover heaven nests in your palm, you will keep traveling in widening circles. In exploration from spirit to form, and there, in that deep inside, and then nowhere else you will want to go. Beloveds then might gather, wanting to imbibe your ways of love. You have nothing to offer except to remember love. And the truth of love is nesting in your own palm. The journey is always within, always right here. And then it's remembered that there wasn't any journey at all. What makes the wings return in the spring? And what makes them leave again before the snow weighs down their need for flight? Everyone is familiar with that migration. Everyone is familiar with the round and round, seeking instead of resting in this moment and affirming that everything is here right now. The ego would like to scream and shout and say, well, what does that mean? Everything is here right now. I don't see it. I don't know it. And that voice will never see it. Drop in. Drop in. And allow and trust that everything is here. There is a place of divine humility that is willing to not know, that is willing to be shown every moment. And even when the ego grabs back and say, oh, now I get it, letting it go again. Coming back into that not knowing. I do not know what anything means. I do not know what anything is for, how to look on anything. But the power of love, the divine grace of compassion will show me as I ask, as I accept a new way, every moment, a new way. Look at your own migration from spirit to form and back so many times, remembering and forgetting. This seems to be the way of healing through a contraction. It seems like a rubber band going back and forth. And yet, trusting that too, not judging it, not having any opinion about, oh, I forgot again, how horrible. But really just allowing, oh, I truly want peace, I truly want harmony, I truly want to remember and live in that remembering. And love answers that call too. Back and forth, just out of habit, just out of fear. Every time the beloved opens to the divine, fear screams, oh no, annihilation, no edges to hang on to, and then contracts back. Just keep saying yes, yes, yes. And just like the birth of incarnation, the birth of a child into the world through contraction, trusting that everything is being divinely guided as you just say yes and allow the opening, the yes. And all of time falls away. All of time falls away. Even the one known as the Christ was here to sweat and fast and to work with his hands and draw from a well and quench the thirst of myriad beloveds. To embrace that everything within the form itself can be the vehicle of love. Everything. That nothing is a problem, that nothing is difficult, but the willingness to serve love's remembering with every moment of the day. There's always the same question that every beloved comes back to. What do I truly want? This question allows the insanity to be burst in a moment. What do I truly want? When you ask that question in your everyday, it brings you back to sanity. It brings you back to remembering what you're here for. When you get lost in the trance, forgetting, walking in habit, fear leading the way, you can stop for a moment and ask, what do I truly want? I truly want peace. I truly want harmony. I truly want to remember love. And in that moment of remembering what you truly want, there's an element of healing, of clarity that allows you to find the center of love again and purpose again, stepping out of the seeming battle. The battle has 1,000,000,000 faces. The battle doesn't always look like a battle. The battle doesn't always look like warriors with shields and swords, even though behind the veil there are that belief of shields and swords. The battle looks like, I'm going to get something. I'm going to win. I'm going to prove my worth. I'm going to prove something. I'm going to get some pleasure out of this life. I'm going to distract myself from my beliefs of pain and suffering. But it all comes back to being a belief in battle. And love is always waiting. Always waiting. What do you truly want? That question frees your mind. It's like a loving jolt of sanity. What do I truly want? The ego has 1,000 answers for what you want in the time of day. I want success. I want to be recognized. I want respect. I want wealth. I want safety. I want. What do you truly want? That your heart holds. Your heart holds what you truly want. Peace. Harmony. There is nothing in this world that anyone is seeking that isn't covering up what they truly want: peace and harmony, joy. The form of anything will never bring the peace and joy and harmony. That will come from your yes to love. Your yes to oneness. Your yes to offering peace and joy and harmony to every beloved. Everything is right there. There was a beautiful teaching that I was remembering today. Let me remember what my purpose is. What do I truly want? If I forget my purpose, I am but confused, unsure of what I am, and thus conflicted in my life. No one can serve contradicting purposes and serve them well, nor can he function without deep distress and deep depression. Let us in this moment be determined to remember what we want today, that we may unify our intentions meaningfully and achieve only what the truth of love affirms and calls us to. What is my purpose today? To remember love, to offer love. How can we offer love? How can a beloved offer love in a day? It's not by saying I love you. even though that might be an expression. The offering of love is the willingness to be undefended, to be open with your heart, to recognize that there are no enemies. To offer love is to withdraw all judgments and opinions that come so easily, moment to moment. How many times a day are there judgments? Probably all day long. But a new way, a new purpose is calling every beloved, which is to let go, to no longer dance and believe in the judgments that are being produced by the mind of fear. And judgments aren't just, I think this and I think I know this. The judgments are, I believe in separation, I believe in differences, I believe in degrees and levels. I believe I know what somebody else's journey should look like. I believe I know the difference between bad and good, and I believe that there is a difference. I believe in disharmony. I believe in chaos. All the seeming chaos in your life is coming from the belief in judgments. There is no chaos. Everything that is being experienced is coming from within. There's nothing happening outside except your own perception that says, I am here to judge a world of form in my own belief system. Let me recognize my purpose today, to remember love. Let me remember that only love and peace and harmony and joy exist. Is it possible to surrender all the judgments when you truly want to heal? What do I truly want? I truly want to remember. When you ask that question within and you affirm that devotion, that yes, what do I truly want? I want peace and joy and harmony and love. I want to remember the natural state of love. Then everything that you see outside, or that seems to be outside of you, is your opportunity of seeing harmony, peace, and joy. And going past, seeing past, going through the senses into the vision of love and seeing the divine in everything and everyone. There's a prayer that I sing, I must love. I must love. I must love because it is what I am here to remember. And every moment offers that divine yes and remembering I must love. There is nothing else but love. But what is love? Love is not what the world has made out of that word. Love is not given in degrees to some and different degrees to others. Love is not held in different roles of importance. Love is universal and equal in all ways. To love the beloved, that seems to be the hardest to love. To love the beloved that you have seemingly no reason to love, that is the one to love first and fully, to accept all others in love and everything in love. I must love. Let me remember my purpose today. No one can be totally committed to remembering love part of the time. There's a funny thing that the ego does in a strategy that says, I pray and pray and pray, and my prayers are never answered. This is completely upside down. There is not 1 second in your prayer that your prayer is not answered, that you are not open and available to help if you are aware of it. There is nothing that stands in your way of remembering right this moment. Love does not hold back. Love does not wait on you're doing it right. It's just your willingness that stands in the way. What do you want? In a moment that the mind says, I want to know. I want to know this, I want to know that, I want to figure it out, I want to be in control, I want to feel safe because if I know, I feel safer. That is the moment that you're not available. And love can't intrude on what you want. You have the power within you. The choice is within you. Love is not holding back. Love can't hold back. Love is all that there is. There's a beautiful teaching from Jesus that says, you're really wonderful at procrastination. At procrastinating by putting off your yes, of believing that there's something else to handle first. But what is all of this procrastination really about? It's all fear. It's the fear of God. The fear of annihilation. That word that's a nice ego word, annihilation. The belief in annihilation affirms that you believe that your body identification, your self-identification is valid, and that there is something to lose. The fear of authority is at the center of fear. Don't tell me what to do. I'll figure it out myself. Don't let me lose control. I want control. Everyone's journey of incarnation has the same base. Everyone born has the same belief of separation. And every life that they live with, all the players that they live with, all affirm the same agreement. To survive is to not lose control. And yet, this is the big lie, because there's nothing to control. There is nothing to hold on to. There is nothing that has anything to do with any control to begin with. What in love could possibly be controlled? And why would there need be for control? Control is made up of fear. Control has everything only to do with fear. There's nothing else there in the belief of being in control. The belief that you have a world to control is the lie. But that belief in control holds you in separation, holds you because you're so afraid that God is judging you, that there is a judgment in the universe, because you have projected your own belief in judgment onto the power of love. No one that lives in the belief of separation can fathom, can understand that there is no judgment in love. It's not possible. There is no judgment. The only judgment is within your own beliefs of separation. And that is why everyone judges. That is why everyone spends all their day judging everything as good and bad and right and wrong and more and less and better and not so good. All of it contained in the belief of time, everything being judged, everything, constantly. And there is no judgment in love. There is no judgment in God. But can you accept that judgment has no reality? I've said to many beloveds that first I was shown in the seeming journey of separation, coming to the realization of oneness, that I'd never had an original thought. Never. That nothing that I had ever thought was original. No judgment, no thought was ever original. Nothing. And that every beloved believes that they are being watched. This is the paranoia of humanity. It isn't a select few that are paranoid. It is everyone that carries that identification of paranoia. That you spend your day with an unconscious belief that you are being judged all the time. That all of your movements, all of your living in the world is being judged by some vague judge somewhere. It's like you're walking around in your house and outside as if there are cameras following you, recording all of your movements and all of your behaviors, and that you are being judged for your life. As if there's a giant scorecard that is keeping tabs on your worth. And this is all coming from within. There is no judge except the judge that you are believing in. You are not being judged. There is no judgment in God, in love. None. You have never done anything. You have never caused anything. You have never proved anything other than you believe in separation, but that isn't even true either. There is no judgment in God. There is no scorecard that is keeping track or has anything. This is all made up. What if there is no judge? Can you accept there is no judgment. That all of the belief in judgment is a projection onto the power of the universe, believing that you could do something right or wrong and diminish your worth. Over and over and over again. Every master that has walked the earth has invited and has proclaimed the same truth: there is no judgment. And yet, the belief in judgment continues. Why? Why does the belief in judgment continue? Out of habit, out of guilt, out of shame, out of the belief that guilt and shame are valid. If there is no judgment, there is no guilt and shame. You've done nothing. Guilt and shame is part of the defense system that says no, no to love, no to oneness, no to remembering, no. It's a handy little device. Guilt and shame, it's handy. It can be used all the time. As soon as you come close to letting go, something comes up and says, oh, there's a judgment here, I'm needing correction, so I must be bad. Guilt and shame. How handy. Now I can stay in the same place. I don't have to let go. What if there was no judge? Your whole relationship to authority is upside down, inside out. The authority, which means the author, the creator of life, of love, is not anything to be feared. But the fear of losing your own self-control, your own belief that you have something to control, is what generates all the fear that says, oh, it must be that I don't want to disintegrate. The question has always been, are you asking us, are you calling us to let go of everything, to surrender everything that I've known, that we've believed in, that's been known in the world? Yes, but it's not everything, it's nothing. It's nothing. Illusion, an illusion of a separate self, is not something to defend and protect. But how can you let go? The leap of faith, the leap of trusting. When the beloved, who is known as Hafiz, offers, until you discover heaven nests in your palm, you will keep traveling in widening circles. What are those widening circles? The widening circles is the world that you keep trying to control. No, if I just can control this, I'll be fine. If I can control this, if I can get this to work for me, if I can make this person do what I want them to do, I will be fine. If I have enough judgments and I figure out, I will be safe. I will be safe because of my judgments. This is the lie. There is no you to be safe, and there's nothing to be safe from. And there is no judgment that will do anything but keep you in the belief that you are separate and alone. and without, and living in scarcity, living in limitation. No one comes to the spiritual journey without the awareness deep within that something is out of balance, that something is not in alignment. This can't be all that there is. This can't be the world that has any ending that is better than what's here now. What am I trying to gain in this world? Proof of your worth that can never be proved in the belief of a separate identity. Never. So where does the leap of faith take you? It takes you into the divine humility of not knowing. And yet, the only way to walk the journey is to trust. Because where you are seemingly going, if you use linear time as a proof of a journey, where you are going is to the recognition that there was never anything to prove. There was never anything to gain. You are the divine. You are the wholeness of God. You are the beauty and perfection of all life. You are whole. You are everything. It's in the palm of your hand. It's within you already. And what are you searching for? A path. What is a path? Call it a spiritual path. The spiritual path is a holding that holds you as you inquire, as you say yes. The path of truth holds you so that out of love you don't wander off the path and fall back into such deep pain and suffering again. The path holds you for ease, for harmony. But what do most beloveds do with the path? They fight with the path. They fight with it. Don't tell me what to do. I can figure out my own way. And when the beloved says, don't tell me what to do, the path widens. Because thy will be done. But when the beloved is ready and says, no, squeeze me. Squeeze me all the way. Squeeze me and just take me home. Squeeze me out of all of the belief of insanity. Squeeze me into letting go of all that I have believed about separation. Squeeze me. Squeeze me, hold me, take me, lead me. Not because I'm stupid, but because I haven't walked this path. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what is ahead. I don't know. I'm walking in trust. I'm walking in surrender. This has nothing to do with the world. The world is habit and repetition. Habit and repetition. Everything that you do in the world, you do because you have done it before. You're not doing anything new in the world. You haven't had an original thought. There are no original thoughts. And there's no original doing. Everything that you do because you have done it before. In the spiritual journey, everything is new. As soon as there is habit in the spiritual journey, you get squeezed. Because the habit is part of the ego system. It's part of the belief of, I know. I've been here before. I know this one. I know how to do this. I'm on my own again. The squeeze of the spiritual journey is, show me the way. I don't know. There is nothing the ego hates more than I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the giant insult to the ego identity. I don't know. Oh, really? I know a lot. I can prove myself all day long, and now you're insulting me that I don't know. And you're calling me names. The happiness of the spiritual journey is in the recognition I don't know. I don't know. When Hafiz speaks of Jesus, and even the sun was here to sweat and fast, and to work with his hands and draw from a well and quench the thirst of myriad beloveds. Every master that has walked the earth has been on that same journey. Every master has been on that same journey, working with their hands, working and being called to serve, being called to follow, until the realization that, oh, there was never really any place to go. There was only love all the time. Nothing even happened. Love is all there is. But every master has had to walk and be squeezed on that journey, laughing eventually, loving to be squeezed, loving that there is so much love that the journey becomes so narrow because I am being held so tightly. I am so loved. I accept that love. I accept the hand of love that can light the way because I don't know the way. There's nothing funnier than sitting with a teacher and having beloveds with their arms crossed saying, yeah, I'll see if I agree. I'll see if I agree with this teaching. There's no receiving. The mind that made up separation wants to have an agreement with the spiritual teaching. There's nothing that's going to be received. Nothing. The only way that it can really be received is by, I don't know, and everything being new. Everything in every moment being new and beginning again. As soon as the mind says, yeah, I've heard that teaching before, well, then it's not available. Receiving it and drinking from the well, new in every moment. The yes to surrender deeper and deeper, and the letting go of the belief of needing to control, needing to figure things out and to be on top of things. The fear that someone may know more than you. The fear that someone may be closer to the truth than you. This is all a game. There's a spiritual joke that talks about the beloved who's sitting in a chair, having worked for many years in letting go and surrendering and saying yes and praying and meditating. And the beloved comes and sits next to them. It's their first time sitting in a space of spiritual seekers. And the beloved sits down and pops up and wakes up. The beloved who's been sitting there for 10 years is very upset. I've been doing all this work and this Yahoo walks in and wakes up. Where's the righteousness in this? This beloved is you. This beloved was served by your yes. This beloved open to the awareness of no time, no journey, nothing right or wrong. Nothing can be held in the premise of time and form. That's the surrender. The willingness to surrender everything that is known in the belief of a third dimension in time and space. Everything of habit, everything of identity. It seems like a lot to let go of, but it isn't. It's just the yes. It's the yes and trusting the power, the divine alchemy of love's healing, the power of love that can transform all illusions of separation. Because how easy is that? They're not really there. It's an easy healing. The power of love is only healing what has been held as separation, believed to be separation. Oh, and you can come up with 1,000 million different stories about it. One of the things that the ego loves to do is to find problems. Finding problems is an all-day job. You could write that down on a resume. I'm a problem finder, and I'm excellent. I have a PhD in finding problems. No matter what I look at, I find a problem. No matter what I look at, I have a reason to be upset. And in that upset, I am affirmed again and again and again that I am unloved and that I'm right. And at the same time, I'm praying for help, but at the same time, I want to be right. The willingness to stop looking for problems. What will happen to your defense system if you don't seek out the problems before they find you and slap you? you're making up all the belief that there are problems, so of course you're going to find them. There's a never-ending supply. All of humanity is believing in the same problems. Why is it that if there's a car accident and there are 10 beloveds who see the same car accident, that there are 10 beloveds who see different problems, different stories, different perceptions? How could that be? Because every beloved has their own belief of their own story that is projecting onto whatever it is that they see. But while you believe that your problems are valid, there's no availability for help, for correction. There's no availability to have it transformed because you are determined that there is a problem. There's a beautiful teaching from Jesus that says, let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. And the teaching goes on to say, let me recognize there's only one problem. One problem. The problem is that you believe that you're separate. And then let me recognize that there is no problem because I am not separate. I am whole and complete. I'm just not aware. If you brought this divine truth to every seeming problem, what would happen to the problem? It would disappear. It would dissolve. The form may still look the same, but you're no longer identified with it. The mind that believes in a distrust of the universe, in a distrust of God, will refuse to surrender the belief in problems. There is an element that has to be of trust, that you are putting your trust, your faith into the promise of love, the universe, the truth of God. And there is no way around that it is a trust, not a knowing. There is no way to get around it. Every master that has come and walked on this earth, and every divine being, seen and unseen, that is in service to humanity's remembering, is offering you the promise, and there is no way else but to accept the promise and to trust the path that you are called to walk on, and to put your faith in those promises. Those promises are not in alignment with what you know. Those promises are not in agreement with your perceptions and your knowing. There's no compromise there. They have nothing to do with one another. To accept that there is only love, and that there is only one problem, which actually doesn't exist because you are not separate. To recognize that when you are upset, it is because you have given an identity of something as an enemy. Has nothing to do with your perceptions. It's complete. They have nothing to do with each other. One is illusion and one is love's offering. And to accept love's offering is to let go of what you think you know. And what you think you know communicates to you in every way possible. You don't always see it as a thought, belief. You don't see it. It communicates through your body identity. It communicates through your perception and your judgment, period. That's all you're knowing. Your past is being projected into what you think you see now. Your beliefs of separation. And those beliefs of separation have held you in a belief of pain and suffering that are not true. The belief that you need to be in pain and suffering is the belief that you are unworthy of love. And this is your self-attack. That's all. It is not God's will. It is not the will of the universe. It is not the truth of the universe that there is any suffering or any pain or that you deserve this in any way. You are the light of God. You are the innocence of all love in oneness. One heart. One. Nothing else is true. How can this beloved who walked the earth in the 1300s under the name of Hafiz, how can this beloved have the audacity to say that the whole universe and all of love is in the palm of your hand? Is he joking? Is it symbolic, a metaphor? Or can you accept it? Can you accept the truth of what this love is offering in this moment? And accept it with trust and faith that you want to remember the truth of all oneness. When the beloved who came and was known as Jesus offered the teaching, you have given the world all the meaning that it has. That one truth, there are no new truths. There is nothing that any master has ever said. The truths that are coming through this voice, this love, are not new. There are no new truths. There can't be a new truth. There's only one truth. But to accept that truth, that you have given the world all the meaning that it has, can set you free if you accept it. But if you continue to want to dance with, no, I haven't given this the meaning that it has, somebody else is giving this meaning and I'm just in reaction to it, and I'm just a victim of the meaning of something else, then that's the choice that's being made. But recognize it as a choice. Choose it then. But if you want truly and yearn for the peace and harmony, tranquility of love, to be free, to live in the freedom that is, then just accept one divine teaching and swallow it whole. Drink it in. It is not an indictment to recognize that what you know has not been of any help to you. Knowing belongs completely to the ego, belongs completely to the belief of separation. But when you say yes to love, the heart opens, the mind opens, everything opens into awareness of what is. And there is nothing missing. Everything that is in perfection is always available. Always. What is most helpful is always present. Always. You lose nothing. There's nothing to lose. And no one can force you. No one can do it for you. No one can persuade you to choose love. No one can twist your arm. You have free will. That willingness is within you. The little willingness to join the truth of love. But it must be your yes. Love will not intrude. If you want a world of separation, it's your dream. It's your choice. You can make the world that you want of separation. You've already made it. But to let it go is to choose again. To choose love. To choose harmony. To choose peace. And then allow the divine alchemy of love to transform. The power of love. Joining that power. Joining that yes. If you have ever questioned that you can be of service to humanity, the divine service to humanity is your yes. The divine service to humanity's healing is your yes. That is the holy purpose. So as we complete this moment of yes, finding the willingness of the heart to stay in that quiet, open-hearted, loving extension, not needing to fill up the moment with trying to get out of the space of healing, not trying to distract from the peace and harmony that is available right here in this moment, that is right here in this moment. The yes to love, holding each beloved as the divine, holding each beloved in union, wholeness, and innocence.